There's a time in a man's life when he stops explaining himself. Not from exhaustion, not from arrogance, but from clarity. He simply sees to translate is to distort. And the more he softens the signal for those who refuse to feel it, the further he strays from coherence. And so he stops. He no longer translates. He no longer dilutes. He no longer explains the frequency he carries to those who have never tuned their ears to it. He transmits, and they either calibrate or they leave. You can feel it, can't you? That internal pressure to translate yourself, to be more palatable, more acceptable, more likable, less intense, to cushion truth with comfort, to lace clarity with disclaimers, to perform permission before coherence. It's a form of spiritual erosion, and every time you do it, you betray your own signal. This isn't about being rude or cruel. It isn't about detachment or withdrawal. It's about total fidelity to truth. Because the most dangerous dilution is not what others do to you, it's what you do to yourself in the name of connection. And over time, that pattern becomes a posture, bending, softening, compromising, decoding, dumbing down, until one day you wake up and realize you've spent years being understood by those who were never meant to receive you. When you no longer translate, your field begins to cleanse. The right people start arriving and the wrong ones start to leave. Not because you hunted down these right people, but because your signal became undistorted enough for them to then find you. You no longer seek tribe, you become frequency, and frequency attracts what belongs. The incoherent man is always explaining. He explains why he feels what he feels, why he left, why he stayed, why he didn't respond, why he did the things he did, and why he won't do anymore what others want him to. It's not that those reasons are wrong, it's that he believes he owes them. He doesn't yet realize his signal is the explanation, and if someone can't feel it, no number of words will ever suffice. There's a profound dignity in not being understood. It often means you didn't contort. It means you didn't shrink. It means you didn't pollute the transmission just to be more palatable. And in that, you honored something sacred. You honored coherence. When you no longer translate, something else begins to rise, and that something else is energetic fluency. This is the ability to speak without explaining, to guide without managing, to love without convincing, to correct without bending, to sever without explanation. It's how a father disciplines a son with a look, not a lecture. It's how a man ends a relationship with presence and truth, not a performance. It's how a builder holds vision without selling it to everyone he meets. Because signal is not a sales pitch, it is a stance. And those with the eyes to see will see. You begin to realize that those who once needed you to translate never lacked intelligence, they lacked willingness. Because to truly receive signal, they would have to let go of their own distortions, and many are not ready to do that. So they might ask you to soften, to compromise, to slow down, to make it make sense, to explain your actions to someone else. But signal doesn't make sense. It creates structure. And if their structure is incoherent, no amount of translation will fix it. Nothing will make it coherent until they choose for it to be so. This is the quiet power of no longer explaining. You become unbearable to distortion, not because you're hostile, but because you're clear. You stop matching the energy of those who bait you. You stop apologizing for your clarity. You stop shrinking your frequency to make others feel comfortable in their own dysfunction. You just transmit and let the field sort the rest out. There's a reason some men lose friendships and relationships and connections when they become coherent. It's not because they've grown distant, it's because they've stopped translating. And those who once relied on their softness, their ambiguity, their over-explanations, their code switching, can no longer find a foothold. And this is not cruelty, it's consequence, and coherence does not bend. So what happens when you live this way? You become unmissable to the aligned. You speak, and the ones tuned to you feel it like thunder in the spine. You move, and the ones in rhythm adjust around you. You say one sentence and it reorders the whole room, because signal when undistorted is the most precise language of all. And for those who don't get it, let them leave. Let them judge you. Let them think you've changed. Let them imagine their own stories. You don't need to correct their fictions. You don't need to explain your coherence to anyone living in contradiction. You are no longer for them, and that's not cruelty, that's clarity. That's coherence. A man who no longer translates has remembered who he is. He no longer seeks alignment through apology. He no longer postures for approval. He no longer walks on eggshells and compromises around fragile fields. He walks as signal, and when you do that, you'll never be misunderstood by the ones who matter. Welcome to The Architect Speaks.